Good morning, guys, and welcome back. So it's very early, we're just getting started. Brent is out getting a bale right now to feed the girls. I have the bale unroller all ready right here. I think he should be almost back. It's pretty cool this morning, but I don't see him yet. I think it's around 18, I think it was this morning. But the wind chill is bringing it down to around 0, so it feels very, very crisp. So we already ran the wash. I've got everything off of the pipe. I just need to put the filter in. We got the heater going and it feels very nice in here, which makes me not want to go out there and work. But we will. So we pull that plunger out. I've mentioned this a million times, but this plunger has to be in when you're washing and out when you're milking. So we pull that out, grab a filter. We just got a new container a couple days ago. I think there's 200 in these boxes, so one will go us 100 days. These are kind of hard to get in, too. There we go. Elbow. Make sure it's semi-straight. Oh, it's too far. Whoops. Chilly out there. Yep. I think it feels colder than it was in the negatives here.
Yeah, it is.
Some of those don't like to come out of there. Oh my gosh, you have hay all over you.
Yeah.
All over you. What'd you do?
I do.
It's like it's stuck to your coat.
Peacoat.
What?
Not the best thing for a farm.
Maybe not. It looks a little strange. Usually people wear Carhartt or Dickies. You got a peacoat. That's Mr. Farmer to you. Uh-oh. There you go. What? There we go. Ah. I'm losing my machines. All right, so the girls are happy and eating now. Not much has been going on the last few days. It's been too cold to do much work outside. In fact, yesterday was a little bit cooler than this in the morning. I think it was around 10 degrees. And then we had the wind chill like we have now. It was actually colder in here than when it was in the negatives. We had 2 water bowls freeze on the end of the barn. It usually only happens when it's around 30 below when we have a wind chill, but I think the wind must have been blowing just right and caused those to freeze. But we just poured a little bit of hot water on there and they thawed out real quick. Why do you guys have to steal hay from each other? Can't you just let each other eat, please? One thing that did happen is those 2 calves got sold. They got bought by the same couple, very nice couple. They live really close to us. So they're gone, but the next night we did have another calf because that's usually the way it goes. It's like some sort of rule that you can't not have calves around. So when you get rid of a couple, you get a couple. It's just the way it goes. So yesterday afternoon we had one born. He's right here. It is a bull. I'm kind of surprised by the way he looks. I know you guys are thinking he looks exactly like everybody else, but the reason I'm surprised is because he came from our Gloucester lineback. She almost always has calves that look just exactly like her. She's speckled. She's a beautiful cow. If you guys are new here, I'll show you her. She's just a gorgeous cow. So she usually has calves that look just exactly like her. She's only ever been bred to a Hereford. Always has a white calf with the black speckles, but this time she had this very Hereford looking bull calf. It just surprised me a little bit, honestly, but he's a big, beautiful boy. He's got nice, straight, long legs. He's hungry right now, but we haven't milked Mom yet, so he's gonna have to wait just a minute. I did dip his navel last night, so you can see that's drying up real good. Mom did not want to lap him off, so he's a little dirty, but we gave him plenty of sawdust, so he's dried up a little bit. He's got this weird bump on his nose. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if he's polled or not. Yeah, he is. We'll feed him in a minute. I just have to wash that machine over there because we did milk her with that last night. I'll milk her out and then I'll just fill his bottle straight from that. I've got that out here already, and then we'll feed him. I'll shake you and show you guys Mom. She is right here. So she is just a gorgeous cow, beautiful color. I'll shut this fan off so you guys can hear me. So she's a Gloucester lineback, brown Swiss cross. She is actually the last dairy calf that we would have raised that was actually born here. Our last dairy bull was a brown Swiss, and that would be her father. He's a really, really nice bull. He came from a Gen X bull. So we raised him and we bred with him, and then she came along. She was born in 18, so that would make her 6 years old this fall. She was born in the fall of 2018. I believe this is her 3rd calf. Yes, it's her 3rd calf. But like I said, her 2 other calves looked exactly like her, more white. Less black than she has on her, but more white, and they had that speckled undertone, the black ears just like she has. So her mother actually is no longer here. She was our very last freestall casualty cow. So a couple of the cows ganged up on her and she ended up slipping and splitting out in the freestall. So we brought her outside, we put her on the lawn. We helped her for days and days and days. We gave her tons of medication. The vet came for her. And I think she ended up breaking something high in her hip and she just couldn't stand anymore. So we ended up having to have her put down. And that was really sad because she was a really great cow. But that's kind of why we don't really like letting them out just in the freestall, is they can get really rowdy and it only takes one time to have a cow slip and fall, and that's just it. So that's why we avoid that sometimes. But that was, oh man, probably, I think she had one more calf after her and then that would have been it. So it was about 4 years ago that. So this is what her udder looks like. She bagged up very, very nicely. She's one of our best cows. I don't really know exactly how much she gives. We haven't milked her out completely yet, but she's usually around a 65, 70 pound milker. So it looks like she's gonna do a little bit better this time. Like I said, this is her 3rd calf. So I think she's gonna be at her peak right now. She looks really, really nice. She's not a particularly friendly cow. I mean, she likes you petting her and stuff, but she doesn't really like to be milked. I've kind of found that that's a lineback thing. They have a severe attitude problem, at least most of them. We had one that was pretty good, but the rest of them, they don't really like to be touched, hands off. But she did a good job. She calved by herself. It's a fairly decent sized calf, and she cleaned about 20 minutes later, so we know she's all good there. Doing really good so far. No milk fever, no anything. She's looking lively this morning, so. Now all we gotta do is have coffee, milk them, and get into the rest of our day. So we've just been into milking a few minutes and we have 2 cows that we need to dry off. So I'm down here getting dry cow treatment. We have one on my side and one on Brent's side. So I need 8 tubes. We have our Spectromast right here. I think we've pretty much used this box. No. 5 in that one, so 1, 2, 3. So that's enough for 1 cow plus 1. Throw that away. And we need 3 more. some alcohol swabs right here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh.
Give them a shot of this. Each quarter is just penicillin, and then you just work it in. That's all it works. You're a good girl. You're a good girl, Patty. A little strip of milk out, that way I can see where the milk is coming out of the teeth now. And then I just slide it in. It's much easier to do it that way. I'll show you guys how to do it. So I go like, take a little bit out, see where it's coming out, and then slide it in. And that's it. And you just work it in there. All done. Good girl. Spray some iodine on there for good measure. Keep the gunk out, huh? And she's all ready, so now we're gonna milk her. Okay, so we just finished milking that fresh cow. She gave around 25 pounds. Don't milk them out the first or second milking. We wait until the third milking to milk them out completely. First milking, we only take enough out to feed the calf. The second milking, we'll take about half what she actually gives, and then the third milking, we'll milk her out completely. So this is what she has now. And you just kind of judge it by how soft her udder feels. So her udder feels like the pressure's taken off in it. That's just really enough for the second milking. I also put some cream on her udder just so she doesn't get chapped, get dry or anything. I'll show you guys what we use. This is the stuff that we use. It's just Kenag udder cream. You can use this in warm or cold weather. So if it's hot out and the sun's out, it works for sunburn, and it also works in the cold weather to keep their teeth from frostbite. We really like this stuff, and for a big jug, it's pretty reasonably priced, $32. And that lasts quite a while, so that's the stuff we like to use. Anyway, my cows are milking, so I've got to get back to work.
Good looking guy. Got cleaned up a lot.
He's got a weird shaped nose. His nose.
I know.
Got a weird bump on it. Whoa. He said I'm adorable, and you know it.
He is nice and dry.
Yeah, he is. Good job. Come here. Come on. It's okay. She's not going to hurt you. She wants to say hi. There you go. Okay, we are almost done milking. We have 2 cows left that are milking. I did want to show you guys real quick. We have a couple more cows that are really close to calving. So one of them is right here. Now this is our other Guernsey Charolais cross, and she looks a lot more like a Charolais than the other one. If she would turn around and look at you, you could tell by her face. Greta. Greta. You can just tell by her face. She looks just exactly like a Charolais, only, you know, obviously a light blonde color. She's bagging up a little bit, not too much yet, but you can tell she's changing here, and she's getting really close. And then we have this Ashier Holstein cross here. You're gonna have to get up, honey. Now she is much closer than Greta. You can see she is really, really dilated and very close. Bren just came back with another bale. We're gonna give them their second one this morning. Oh, she's done?
Yeah.
I'll do it. Before I finish unwrapping that, I do have to go put a tube in the fresh cow that we have. The Charolais Guernsey cross that calved, she's always had issues with one of her quarters. We use the California mastitis test just to see how all her quarters were, and one of them, which we already knew had been testing out high last time, was testing out high again. So we've treated that quarter twice, and we're gonna give it a 3rd dose. You can use this stuff to treat them as long as you make sure that you do test it. There's not really a withdrawal period, but we have a testing machine. It's like a little incubator. You put a little bit of the cow's milk in a vial, and it has a little capsule that has some sort of dye in it. And if she doesn't pass, if there's any traces of penicillin, it will stay yellow, and if she passes, it will turn purple. So we always test them after we use this, especially with stuff that's not typically intended to actually be treating cows for mastitis, and is actually intended to dry a cow off, which is the same thing. It's just inhibiting bacteria growth. So it's basically the same thing. It's still killing bacteria, so you can use it. You just have to make sure that you have a tester where you can test the milk to make sure that they are gonna pass, and that you can safely put them in the tank. So this will be her last treatment of this. It is her rear left quarter, and she doesn't particularly like this. So just make sure it's all milked out first. And I will hold this out and put some iodine on it too, just because we know that has some high counts. So that's not laying under her. There we go. I know. Hey, stop. 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 You're fine. Stop. You're okay. not a fan. There you go. You're all right. Now typically that stuff we just gave her, 1 tube, she can go back in at about 4 milkings, she'll pass. But if we give them more than that, it's usually about a week before you can put her back in, before she'll test negative for penicillin. So in about a week, maybe a little under, we'll test her and see if she passes, and I'm sure she will, and we'll be able to put her back in, which will be good to have a few fresh cows back in the tank. So we just got everything finished. We got the cows. Oops, dropped my cover. We've got all the cows bedded. You can see they're nice and comfy and clean. Now the only thing left to do is I usually come over to our magic erase board and I write down anything that's happened during the day. So I need to write down those 2 cows that we dried off today. You can see my board is pretty full. So when it gets full like this, I'll take it whenever I have time, and I'll pretty much transcribe everything over into the cow records. So I just look at whoever, you know, like Bobby Joe calved, so I'll just take that and put that on her sheet of paper. I always write the date and everything, and I circle them just to make sure that we know everything, like who's who and when it happened. I just circle the dates and everything to make sure I know which cow was when and all that. So running out of room, but I think I can fit a few more on here. Today is the 6th, I believe, or maybe it's the 5th. Hold on. No, today's the 5th, so that was wrong. Yesterday was the 4th. I pay more attention to things. So today is the 5th. 24. So dried off Patty plus Big Red. Those are the 2 cows we dried off. So then I just circle it, make sure I know when's when, and so that's it for in here this morning. I think I have to come back later and we're gonna haul some hay. We just leave them in the fields they're in because we really don't have time during the summer to truck all the hay back. Just leave them wherever they are, and then during winter when we have a lot more time, we'll go get loads of them as we need them. It's kind of also an issue that we really don't have that much room around here to be putting that many bales. We have over 700, I think 700 wrap bales this year. So we really don't have anywhere we could put 700 wrap bales right here. So it's kind of easier that way too, just to leave them in the fields that they're in. So anyway, I have to come back later for that, but I do have to go over and feed the heifers. I did forget to mention that we did have one kind of exciting thing happen a few days ago. So we've been having trouble with the Kubota lately. It's been stalling, just not running very well at all. And the other day it quit completely. Kind of ironic considering I was just saying that we could work on the skid steer because we had the Kubota as a backup. Well, apparently not. We do have it fixed now, but we called our mechanic. It was not getting any fuel. You couldn't even pump it. There's a little jar on the engine and it has a little pump. When you pump that, there wasn't anything. It was like it had no vacuum whatsoever. So that concerned us and we called our mechanic and he came right over. We still didn't really figure out what the problem was, but he narrowed it down to it being either 2 things. Either it did have water in it somewhere, or it had some sediment in it that wasn't really allowing the tractor to get any fuel and it was just starving it. So we kind of want to go with the water theory because we have had trouble with that tractor before. Fuel in that tractor gels really easily. We did treat our tank. We always treat our skid tank, and we also treated the fuel in the tractor as well. But it is possible that there was water in there anyway. It's always a possibility that water could get in there somehow. He said if it is sediment, we could pull off a line. He showed us where to pull it off. and blow back through, and he said you should be able to tell if it's actually sediment because it should blow back pretty hard, and then you would be able to get the fuel coming out. It's been running the good last few days, but he said if it does happen again and we do figure out that it is sediment, we will have to drain that poly gas tank, and it's a pain in the rear end to get to it. So let's cross our fingers in a way that it is water, because it'll be much harder to deal with if it is sediment. But anyway, enough chatter. I've got to go feed the heifers. I'm sure they're hungry, so let's get over there and do that. Bye, girls. Hold on, guys, it's a rough ride. Looks like we're gonna have plenty of leftover hay. We got plenty of dry hay left over. Looks like a beautiful day, but it's 16 degrees. There's just something about the landscape when it's all white and the sun is shining. It just looks really, really nice. Although I should have brought my sunglasses because it's also blinding. Here we are. Oh no. Looks like the wind blew the door off. Oh man, I swear it is always something, isn't it? Be a little nervous walking under that. I don't know why it has to be so windy all the time. So there's another thing we're gonna have to fix. Turn the lights on now that I can't open the doors for light. Hey girls. You usually just shut these hay holes when it's going to be in the teens at night. They do still have some hay left over, but this definitely wasn't the best wrap bale. It's kind of stemmy. But they do still have a protein block down there, so. Now we just got to go down and check their water. We have been having issues with that. It got really, really cold and it froze so much that it ended up expanding the tank. So we tried to chip that out and ended up breaking the tank. So we got a decent sized crack in it, but we did patch it up with some of that Flex Seal. You can buy the patches. You can buy the liquid too, but we just figured the patches would work better. And it seems to be holding for now. So it's just like a hairline crack, but it was leaking pretty good. So we patched it up with this. It doesn't look to be leaking at all now. There's also 2 patches on the inside. You can see the starter one right there. Very cold water. The float is still running, so that's good. They're doing okay. They look a little cold this morning, but hello. You're friendly, aren't you? You're the most friendly one. Over here eating all by yourself? Gotta get back in the truck and warm up. So my jacket in the truck. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. I always enjoy hanging out with you guys. Just an average morning during calving season. This is what it looks like for me. Pretty on the run, pretty on the go. I love how busy it gets because it keeps me occupied until, you know, spring comes and planting season and harvesting and everything like that. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of like just getting you going, getting you back into the groove of things. So if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like and comment down below and subscribe if you're new here. We would love to have you guys. So yeah, just keep it real, keep farming, and I really hope you join us in the next video. Bye guys.